All right, so I have my trouser hook and eye, or my trouser hook, my wire hook, and my snap, and I have to figure out where their opposites go on the underlap, this piece right here. So a couple of ways to figure this out. One is just to put them together and look at this, because the holes of the hook, or the eye, no, what is it? This is the hook, so the eye will match up with the holes of that one right there. So if I come through those eyes, this where I sewed my hook on, watch this not work. Okay, there we go. So there it is right there. So I know that my eye will match up to that one. The pin's coming that direction, so I bring this pin back the other direction. I can pull that off. Then I know that my eye is going to go right there. So let me start a thread. I have my needle threaded. My poor needle is getting bent, too much use. So bring it in again, far away, come up by where my eye is going to go, tie a knot before it pulls in tight, go through that loop. Oh, she says as she pulls it through for the second time. You know, I'll leave it like I did before and pull it through later. Or you can edit that out. Okay. Okay, give myself a nice secure knot here. I don't want my hook and eye falling off. Okay, so there's a good knot. Now I go back and cut that and get that thread end to disappear. All right, so now I know that that's where my eye is going to go. Sorry, I'll put that right there and just hold that down for a minute while I get it started. Come up through. Take a couple of stitches. I got a little loop right there. There it goes. And you know, they get this next one. Okay, so I know he's good. I'll take that pin out. Alright, so a few stitches to hold it at that end and go in between the layers. Come out here at the bottom. It's not as critical that I don't go through the back, because this is the inside of the skirt at this point, or the waistband, but for the sake of doing it correctly and pretty, I'm not going to. So I'll go through this end with some radiating stitches through the holes. Okay, and if this were my last thing, I would do my knot again and tie it up, but I'm going to sew another hook. So let me double check this, that if I hook that up, that my waistband is going to be the right place. Okay, so now to do figure out where the eye goes for the other one. There are a couple of ways. My favorite is to put the eye right where it needs to be, and again take a pin from the back side, and I make my pin go through that eye, and it's like hooked onto my pin now, she says, as it missed it, but I'll go back and get it. Okay, so now if I take it off, my eye that was crooked, but I know it went right here. And I also know that it's underneath that pretty much. So I would just use that as my guide as to where to put my eye and get that sewn on. For the sake of time, I'm not going to do it, but I am going to show you how to do the other with the snap. So with the snap, you'll line them up again where they were. And the snap, because you're using such a ginormous one, your snap has a hole right in the middle of it. So find, I'm just going to start, find the middle of your snap right there. See, there's a hole. It's going to go like that. So I'll just line those up where it goes and then push it through all the layers. And then, like I did on the other one, take a pin from the other side and put it back against it. Okay. So that is where the socket, and it's really tempting to turn this over and sew it like this, but make sure, since I sewed the ball on this side, that this side is the socket. Don't flip it over, because if it's that way, those two won't ever snap together. So put the socket on. That, make that, there we go. If your snap is really tiny and it doesn't have a hole like this, that you could just put that alignment together like that perfectly, the next thing you could do is take a pencil or a piece of chalk or even a bar of soap and rub the top of your ball and get a good coating of soap powder or soap residue on there, and then put it where it needs to be and twist that down, and you'll get a little mark, and that would be exactly where you would put the other side of the snap. So this snap is going to be exactly the same. Come in, go through all the holes, tie a knot, and then lose your thread. I think that would be good enough. Alright, so here's one that's all finished and done very beautifully. And see the two hooks lined up with the 1/8 of an inch away from the edge, and the snap back, the ball of the snap pointing towards the body. And on the underlay are the eyes. They're going to catch into the hooks, and then the socket to the snap. So when they get put together, the snap, actually I can do the hooks first and then the snap. The purpose of a snap on an underlay is not to hold the stress. The stress is being held with the hooks. The snap is just to control the underlay, this piece of fabric right here, so it doesn't flap around or droop or whatever that you don't want it to do. So the hooks hold it and the snap controls it. And that's your waistband hook size and snaps. The end.